there, and welcome back. It's me, everyone's beloved captain. And it's episode 10, which was delayed for some reasons. At least this is what I've read from Crunchyroll. So I couldn't watch it yesterday, I had to wait until today. But yeah, I've watched it. And it was interesting. It was a nice episode with quite a bit of comedy. Not in the sense of it was seriously funny, but it was, well, I had some chuckles with it because it's Tanya and Tanya is awesome. Everyone loves her. So we had this operation, the mission that was started in the last episode, with flying via the rockets to the enemy headquarters and destroying it, and then retreating so that the Empire could encircle the enemy forces, which was a success. Right away, it did happen, they did it, but there were 2 points that were really interesting. For once, it was the use of flamethrowers. And aside from those supernatural fantasy magic related stories, when they use fire to throw it or something like this, you don't really see it. But this time we got some real flamethrowers, down to earth. They did it. And it was interesting, it was ugly, and it did work. And the second point was the man-made explosion. They had those small tunnels under the earth, packed it with the explosive stuff. I'm not sure what they've used. The powder or some other stuff. I don't know, so I don't really want to name it in such a way. But yeah, they retreated, put those explosives into those small tunnels, and kaboom! A huge explosion, which was seriously crazy. It was really huge, and the episode did quite a good job to show it how much impact there was, and the reaction of the messenger from the enemy magic squad. He was seriously terrified, and he couldn't get into contact with the headquarters, though he flew back, and what did he find? The destroyed headquarters. And another interesting point about this episode was the conflict of interests between the military and the what were they called again? Yeah, I know it in German, but I don't really know how to call them in English. Man, it's tough to talk in English even though it's not the native language. Well, at least there was this meeting, and we had those from companies and those rich people who has stuff going on, and they were furious about the retreatment, how the enemy could come so far, and obviously the military didn't say anything. The major or whatever rank he has, he was like, well, yeah, it happens, and then they've waited. Another messenger came in and said those code words. And then he got up with all this crazy face full of pride, happiness, and which turned quite into a cruel, sadistic one with, "Are you ready for the follow-up report?" So yeah, he explained it, and even though they were terrified because the army of their empire came up with such a plan. So yeah, it was interesting to see also the conflict of interests with the military trying to destroy the enemy, and those company guys are like, well, yeah, but what with this region we need it. And I was really interested in it, and I'm quite happy how it turned out. And now it looks like we are going to get to the final parts of this show, which I've heard something about. I'm not sure how true it is because I can't confirm it, but I've read that they have changed a bit of the story. Remember that enemy guy who was sunk in the fjord and how he was rescued, and now he is also on his trip of revenge against Tanya? Yeah, that guy. He got some crazy magic power. He shot at the end of the episode one of Tanya's guys down from the sky, and he's attacking while the job of Tanya's crew was actually just finish off the retreating soldiers. And in the anime, it's that guy who got obviously quite a bit of a power up. Probably by being X, because being X isn't for the lols and he's a good troll. But on the other side, and now I'm coming to the point that makes it kind of interesting, because it was posted that it was changed in such a way, because in the original light novel it was not this guy who became kind of another super soldier, but actually his daughter, because he died and his daughter was so sad, and she joined the army to get her revenge. And obviously, being X, the funny guy he is, gave her quite a bit of power. So she is in for hunting Tanya. But as I've said, I'm not sure if this is actually true, or if this happens actually in a later part of the story, which would make sense, because from what we've got in this episode, it was said that he didn't even contact his family, and I should check out the novels, but the status of the fan translation, it's just a bit more than volume 1, so yeah, and it looks like the show is a bit more ahead than just the first volume. But yeah, let's wait. Or maybe the light novel will be licensed. This would be freaking awesome. But yeah, all in all, nice episode, really entertaining. Tanya is a great character, really interesting. And yeah, at least one of her underlings knows what would happen if they did something to the other girl in the party. Yeah, it's a great show, and I'm kinda sad to see that there are only 2 more episodes. I mean, come on, it's just sad. We need more Tanya. We really need. So yeah, let's pray for another season, the licensing of the light novels or some shit that goes on. Anyways, thanks for watching and see you guys later. Bye bye!